Hump Day Happy Hour. Sometimes the king just has to make an entry. What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zuma November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. It means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour and some funny stories. But before we do the funny stories, we're going to thank the Patreons because they are absolutely awesome. And they'll probably laugh the most about the funny story, especially in the after chat tonight, because there's going to be several of them in after chat. And then thank you very much to the YouTube channel members. They're awesome. And they got the pretty little green routing investor admins, and they're blue. And the ever-changing board, which we did not change, but Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November with an off-stream donation. And he knocked off one of the ends of this spot. It could have been the first end. It could have been the last end. I guess you'll have to figure it out.
That's right.
Update the board.
Well, I'll say this for the second time. Hello, everybody in the chat. Wrote down the list here. Andy Callie, good to see you again. Gene McPhee from Killeen, Texas. You didn't hear me the first time I said welcome, but hello again. Golf Sugar Scott, good to see you. Kilo 8 Golf Hotel, Terry, Larry Bingham, Mike Robers, the PP Man's in the house. Victor Echo 3, Lima, Bravo, Indy, the loudmouth from Hammertown. November, Lava. Always good to see you. The Duke of Alabama, the Bang Bang. Good to see you. Sandy, good to see you. Liz and family, hello. Patrick, BKM, good to see you. Chris, loudmouth from East Tennessee. Man, there's a house full tonight, and they were all waiting on us, and we were talking like they thought they could hear us.
They were, and the problem was, I was talking to PP Man earlier today, and so we were in this deep discussion about South Detroit. I seen a South Detroit comment in the chat earlier, and I just want to let people know. I'm going to explain this really quick, and then I'll explain to you what happened. So, if this is your city, this circle, and this is the center line right here of your city, anything north of that is north of your city. Anything south is south of your city. Anything east is east, and anything west is west. So if you're 1 inch to the south of the center of Detroit, you are in South Detroit.
That's true.
So when I was talking to PP Man, he said, you guys should stream QRP tonight. So we streamed for 5 minutes QRP, and none of you guys was hearing me. So I turned up the power.
Absolutely. We tried our best. I mean, I guess propagation just wasn't there on YouTube tonight. KO4 FSZ antennas in the house. Hey guys, how you doing? Hackenham and Lou, good to see you. Mike Halpenny from East West Virginia.
So now the truth behind that. We really did stream for 5 minutes, or we thought we streamed for 5 minutes.
We thought we did.
We actually had a 5-minute conversation with you guys.
We did. This is actually the second time we've done this intro. So take two.
We played the video and everything. That was 5 minutes after the video.
Yeah.
Too. So we had a bunch of slides over on the right of the back end from a video that I had filmed earlier. And I told Dan, I said, you can go ahead and delete them. And I was waiting, getting ready to hit the video at 3 minutes to start it. And when Dan starts deleting them, the video starts moving on me. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm trying to chase the video. And I finally hit the video and I was like, shoo, that was a close one. But I didn't hit go live. And after the video, I go straight into the intro and we talked for 5 minutes. Dan welcomed all of you guys. And yeah, it was.
And the funny part is neither one of us saw this big ass red button in the upper left hand, the upper right hand corner of the screen that says it's big red and it says end stream.
Well, in my defense, I have my chat over top of that button. But I do have another live stream over here.
Did you glance over and go, man, YouTube's lagging today?
No, but PP Man is like, is James late again?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is he talking about as James late? What's he talking about? Like, I don't know.
Mike, we answered you. Like, we don't know what you're talking about. Are we late? We're sitting there on the stream talking. Well, we thought we were anyway. Well, hello again, everybody.
But I did want to say shout out to Kilo 8 Golf Quebec because he has done totally mastered CW so much that he has moved on. I seen him in the chat. He was sending PW. And if you don't know what PW is, you may want to come hang out in the second hour of After Chat.
Yeah, that one's going to have to wait till hour 2. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, well, what's up, Andy? Anyway, welcome, everybody.
Again.
Hey, we did good because no, it's showing what we're actually live. I was like, that intro was quicker, but no, it's actually longer. So,
yeah, I actually have to pay attention to the actual time now and not the timer on the yeah.
It's all good.
There's a reason why they call this amateur radio. Yes, sir.
That's right. I'm a YouTuber about an amateur radio.
Right. That's right.
So I can do amateur mistakes sometimes. As long as I don't do them in POTA, we're all good, right?
Anyway. Man. How's your week been so far since Sunday? The band's been cooperating with you?
The bands are just, I'm over the bands. Like, I don't know. Like, I get it. It's summer. I get it. The sunspots, but I don't remember any summer being this bad. Like it's been over a solid month and a half now. That, yeah, you'll get a couple hours every now and then that are amazing. Most of the time, that's after 8 o'clock. But
shots fired. I am an IT guy. All right, so let me get on my high horse a minute about the ARRL and this whole snafu that's going on with Logbook of the World. I don't know exactly what happened, nor do I really care what happened, to be honest with you. I do use Logbook of the World, so I am kind of missing that it's offline. But as an IT guy, as my profession and my day job, what pays the bills, if anything I had was down for this long, I would be fired. Period. I don't care if they had a full system meltdown, everything turned into a big ball of molten metal on the floor. It should be back up within 24 hours. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know,
Dan, you're probably right. But aren't you on the POTA dev team?
Yeah, but that's not a molten ball of melted metal on the floor.
Well, yeah. I just want to put it out there that not everybody's, but my numbers have just been sitting there spinning circles for longer than Logbook of the World's been down. I still can't look at my stuff.
Don't activate as much.
I mean, I get it. It's my fault. I broke it again. But I'd like you guys to find what I broke, because, people are telling me, hey, man, you owe me a challenge coin, and I can't even look to see if I do or not. So.
Well, let me know if you need those numbers. I can get them for you.
Oh, can you get those numbers?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's what I'll start doing.
IT China syndrome.
Yeah. I'll start aggravating you for the numbers, and next thing you know, my page will be fixed. that whole map that they're working on the process, that was a whole me aggravating about certain things.
Well, I mean, maybe you finally got to the root of what POTA was trying to do. The whole part prefix renaming and all that stuff was a facade just to mess with James's stats.
Yeah. And I haven't turned nothing in because they still got that little blue thing up there that says you guys are patiently working. I'd just like to see my stats because everybody else can.
You have much more stats.
Michael, you got your numbers. I ran them for you myself.
Yeah.
Hush it. I do have my numbers as far as my personal numbers, but I can't see how many times people's worked me. I can't see like how many times I've activated a park, because I can if I go directly to the park and look, but that's too much like work.
Yeah, I mean, so right now the ARRL, as far as logbook of the world anyway, is it's about a 219 on their signal strength. It may get better, but they're getting some pretty heavy QSB right now.
I can tell you what happened if you want to know the truth. And people in my chill pad chat can verify this.
Is Terry right? Did FTA blow it up?
Right before Logbook of the World went down, my certificate expired and I renewed it. And they said, you know what? We have dealt with his numbers for long enough. Let's break this thing.
So, Larry, I was thinking that too. It was either James or Clarice. Maybe Clarice doesn't want to go home, so she broke Logbook of the World.
Well, listen. Terry don't realize it, but if she's not at my house by about 5 p.m. on Friday, I'm going to turn out a missing doll report. And I hate to do that to Terry, but she's got to go home on Saturday.
Alpha Zero Zulu is in the house. Hi, Mom. What flavor ice cream do we have tonight, Kyle? Inquiring minds want to know. Because we always know there's ice cream. And Chipotle.
Speaking of Alpha Zero Zulu, something went out in the mail for you today, buddy. Oh, anyway, so we kind of got a topic tonight, and Amber Alert. I think I wonder if they would rename it if it was for Clarice.
A Clarice Alert.
Would it be a Clarice Alert, a Psycho Alert? I wonder if Terry has taught her PW.
Qdoba, you're breaking up with Chipotle. That's right, because last time they messed up your order really bad. I remember that.
I think that's a good move. I really like Qdoba. So I think that's a good move, Kyle.
I agree. Yep.
Anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about busy life schedules and how to radio around them a little bit. And I'd love to hear from the chat as well. I wonder if Kyle's laughing because I said that's a good move, or if I'm still behind on something else.
I think if you ask Kyle, he probably couldn't tell you why he's laughing. But
he probably could. He may have already received this package, and and seen the funny T-shirt that I made of Terry that we got for him.
So, how to radio on a busy life schedule? Is that?
That's right, because you know, I get it. People have a busy life, and radio's not everything to some of you guys. But if it's a big part of your life, then stop making excuses and let's figure out how to get you on the radio more. Because I know it can be done. I know it for a fact. Because you know, there's a lot of people that juggle a lot of stuff and get on the radio. For example, Dan last year. Dan is a very busy person. Y'all might not realize this, but Dan is a very busy person. He has a full-time job. He works for Dev Team for POTA. He has a YouTube channel, which is constantly editing videos and stuff like that. It sucks. But last year, he hunted so much POTA that it was unrealistic how much POTA this guy hunted last year.
Got 4 plaques too.
I mean, he does got 4 plaques to prove it. So, you know, something's going on. He's figuring out how to make time somehow. And maybe he'll tell us some secrets he's got. I know for myself, this past week, I juggled. Now we won't say making time for radio. For me, it was making time for POTA. So this week, past week, I juggled my mom being in here, spending time with her every day, doing the Lewis and Clark event for the club. We dropped the PP Man spike, and I got slammed with orders, and was not ready for that. And I was not ready for the slam of that. And then on top of that, I still had to activate every single day and make sure I got the PZN people every single day. So you can't just go out and do one activation when you're dealing with that, because somebody's going to miss you. Trust me, I'd go out and do a late shift. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this late shift and I'm going to have to worry about it tomorrow. Somebody would miss me. It never failed.
Lou said he's not watching everybody else's YouTube. That's how I have time. That was true last year. I watch a lot more of other channels this year, Lou. Matter of fact, I catch up on a lot when I'm driving and just winding down after a day of work. I mean, I will catch up on people. It might take me a week or so to see your video, but I'll eventually get there.
I hear videos more than I see them.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I do listen to a lot of YouTube videos while I'm driving, except for when my head starts kicking out the pile up call signs, and then I just.
Jason in the house. What's going on? Kilo Charlie 1 Quebec.
First live stream, and he's a Patreon. Hey, welcome to your first live stream.
Welcome.
I hope you wasn't here for the beginning because it kind of started off rough, or didn't start at all, whatever. But
deja vu. My biggest tip, I mean, some people in the chat put your tips how to radio with your busy life schedule is what we're talking about today. And Kyle is right. Kyle streamed the other night. I got tired. I lay down in the bed, so I turned on the TV in the bedroom and I fired a stream up on the tubes. And I sent Kyle a picture during the live stream of me laying back in the bed with my feet in the frame, watching his live stream, and he kind of chuckled at it.
Unfortunately, I did see the post of your feet watching the live stream, but unfortunately, following that picture, Terry put a picture of his feet in there, and it's kind of like a video that I watched one time with a jet ski, and I just can't unsee it.
That's right.
So, yes, Frank, it was great to work you the other night as well.
A lot of people say they actually live close to parks, which is great, or parks are on their way to and from work, which is cool too. You know, Larry has a twofer on his way home from work, and I assume also on his way to work. So that's awesome.
That's one of my things I was going to say. So when I did work a full-time job, I always made time for POTA. I would do that I would get up earlier before I'd go to work. And a lot of my hunters can remind you of these days because I was like a clock you could set by. I literally would be in the park every morning at the same time, and they knew they had about 10 minutes to get me, because in about 10 minutes I was leaving that park whether there was a pile or not, because I had to go to work. And then they knew around what time I got off, and I was out there for an early late, and then a late, and then a later late.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Curtis, you kind of hit it on. You kind of hit the nail on the head there. It's pretty much give up all your responsibilities and just go.
Yeah, you do. You do got to give up some things when you want to do certain things in life, and that's not just ham radio. I've been this way with everything that I've ever done. You know, I used to be a professional BMX racer, and I trained so much. Like I lived BMX like I did ham radio. And you do, you know, sometimes somebody will be like, hey, let's go out to the movies tonight, and you just can't do it. Or when radio comes involved, you could do it. You just got to do a park on your way home from the movies. Yeah. You pass by parks all the time. Next thing they're going to say is well, family. Everybody's got to spend time with their family. But how many times does your family want to go on a picnic? You can do a picnic in a park and do it. You know, you can do. It doesn't have to be POTA. You can take your family out to an amusement park, and you know, when you get tired of riding the roller coaster and stuff, you can say, I'm gonna go sit down for a minute, and you can go out in the car and get on the mobile and hunt some stations. You can make time to do things like that.
And really, if you just want to hunt too, it doesn't really take all that much time. I mean, unless you're doing like a support your parks event and you want to get high numbers or something like that, or if they ever bring back a plaque event, you're going to be glued to the chair for 24 hours. But other than that, when the late shift not late shift, when the new UTC day rolls over, even on a weekday, you can get 15, 20 contacts within 30 minutes. Easy. And then, you know, you got yours for the day, and turn the radio off, go spend time with the family, do what you need to do, and hunt some in the morning if you got time before work. Before anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. there's decent activity out, especially if you do CW. There's a lot of CW people that get up early. There's Whiskey 1 Charlie November up in Massachusetts. I know he's on most every morning. Sometimes Aaron Bowman's on W4ARB, and just hunt when you can. It's not really it's not hard at all. It's not hard at all to hunt, you know, at least one a day.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not hard to activate. Maybe once a day, it gets, you know, sickness gets in the way and stuff like that. Everybody don't want to deal with the Bailey Sprott stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that's not for the weak at heart for an activator. But honestly, I could hunt Bailey and Sprott for 40 years and like it's nothing. I can't tell you the times that Dan or Steven has hunted me doing CW while they're driving down the road.
Yep.
I mean, and as far as quick activations, you know, you can get a Yaesu radio and run an ATOS, and they're definitely not the be-all, end-all antenna, but to go in and get 12 contacts and get an activation in because you got a family event or something coming up for the rest of the day, it takes no time. Even in the bad band conditions, I've proven it lately. I've rolled out with the ATOS in the bad band conditions and get 20, 25 contacts in like 10, 15 minutes and be done. I did it. Matter of fact, about the whole time Mom was in, I was doing it left and right because I didn't have the extra time.
If I had a park reasonably close to me, I would actually do the activator belly sprott next year. My only problem with that is my closest park is 30 minutes away. So that's an hour travel time each way plus your activation time. So that, just the park being the distance away from me that it is, kind of puts a damper on the belly sprott for me, as far as activator. Eddie, for instance, November Lover last year, he had it made. I mean, there were times that he still didn't want to go out and activate just because, I mean, 365 days straight of activating is it's a feat for anybody. You got to deal with sickness or whatever else is going on in your life at the time. It's not an easy thing to do, but when you have a park literally on your way to and from work on the same road, you just pull off. Basically, it makes it a little easier, but it's not easy by any means.
Yeah, I mean, it does suck for you to be further away from the park, but I mean, truly, I know you, and I know if you wanted to do it, you'd make it happen.
Oh yeah,
you'd make the time and you'd make it happen. Because that's what we do as any hobby enthusiast. If we want to do something, we can do it. I mean, how many times have you came home from work and you just sat on the couch for like 40 minutes resting and just relaxing from the day? You could have relaxed in a park for 40 minutes and got the same relaxation. You don't got to run a big, huge pile up. You could get on and you could rag chew with everyone and talk to your buddies, and you can hold the frequency like you've owned it for 49.6 years.
Or if you're in our Discord, just post there and just work the people in our Discord. You're going to get activated quick, and you ain't got to be there very long.
I will say that our Discord is like the difference of night and day when you're activating, because I can spot in Discord only, not even spot on POTA, and be activated in under 4 minutes if I wanted to. But yet I could go out anytime this week and not spot on POTA and be under my club call doing Whiskey 8 Wing Monster golf for the Lewis and Clark. Now I'm spotting on DX Summit as the Lewis and Clark station. And mind you, I'd be in park most of those Lewis and Clarks. I've been in parks, and it take me an hour to get activated if I didn't spot on POTA, because I did try it several times. So I mean, it definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, as far as finding time to radio around your schedule, it's just you'll find time if you want to make time. And my problem with it, I mean, I guess it is a problem when you think about it, is I have a very addictive personality. So if I get involved with something, I want to be good at it because I'm competitive with myself, right? That's why last year I went so hard, and this year you might not hear me hunting as much because I'm kind of slacking off a little bit, letting some other people, get to the top of those charts and stuff like that, and see where they go this year. I've already seen quite a few of them, fall off, and it's only 6 months of the year. We're halfway through 2024, and I've seen a lot of people that started off really strong in January. They're not really hunting anymore because they burned themselves out. So.
I'll tell you, it's easy. It's easy to do. I know I'm a whole lot different this year than I've been in the year. I've slacked off incredibly this year just because I had some other goals that I wanted to do, and those goals are going quite well, as a matter of fact. But yet my numbers are still plenty high enough. I think I'm like second in activations. First in sideband. and I'm not even trying this year. But
I'm still getting my hunts in. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's not anywhere near the numbers where last year. I'm probably getting maybe 20, 30 a day. I'm still in the hunter belly spot. I've hunted every day. I'm maybe getting 20 or 30 hunts in a day, and most of those are around the UTC.
We would still call Dan the elite hunter this year if he was still in the PZN challenge.
Yeah, and like compare that to last year, where an average day for me hunting last year was like 140, 150. That was average. So I mean, yeah, I've slacked off this year for various reasons, but
you got to make it fun for yourself. That's absolutely right. And I'm not saying this to make anybody do more radio than they want to do. I'm just saying, don't complain to me that you don't have time for radio, because you don't make time for radio. It's that simple.
We did, Mud. We all went hard last year. I think it was kind of an explosion breakthrough year of POTA last year, and I think everybody just went hard. And by the end of last year, I had that little self burnout coming on around October. And but we pushed through, and I decided this year was going to be more relaxing, more at a decent pace. Pick up, mainly focus on new to me parks and DX parks and things like that. And you never know what 2025 might hold.
And that's the thing. Mine wasn't even a burnout thing. Mine was just I needed to focus on some other things in ham radio and in POTA that I wasn't getting done, because like last year and the year before that, my day consisted of waking up, looking at the numbers, shaking my head that I'm only 40,000 ahead of somebody, and then going on and trying to correct it. And it become too bad of an obsession.
Yeah,
the numbers did.
Yeah,
and this year I look at my numbers and I hate myself for it too. But I had other goals, and I'm getting a lot of those done this year.
You never know what 2025 is going to bring, though. I mean, might come out of the gate swinging in January 1st and not let up till December 31st, and y'all wonder what the heck hit you. Never know. We have to find out.
It takes a special kind of stupid to do that. I know. I've done it. Yeah. That's what cracks me. That's what cracks me up. I try not the first month. I try to go super easy every year, even in my hardcore years, the first month or two. And I let people just stack up everything, and then they're like, "Oh my goodness, we're smoking the king. We got this." And I'm like, "Yeah, guess what, guys? It's a relay, not a sprint."
That's what I did. That's what I did last year. I mean, I started off hunting. I think my average for the first 4 or 5 months last year was maybe 60 to 70, contacts a day. And I just maintained that pace, and I kind of ramped it up a little bit. I ended up average, in the 120s, 130s, 140s a day. And I just maintained that pace. And there was a lot of people the first 3 months, 4 months of the year that just blew right past me. Mm-hmm. But I just maintained that steady pace. And then eventually, their gas tank ran out. And I was still on, I still had that, that eco mode button pressed in my car. So just cruised on past them eventually.
And that's the thing. I could start right now and just totally dominate it. Yeah. Other than the people who's already purchased their logs for the year from that one website, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Eddie says that POTA burnout will push you to do new things. That is true. That is true. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I call it, maybe it was burnout, but more, I guess if you get bored with something and you look at it more of I have to do it rather than I want to do it, that's a type of burnout. That's kind of where I was at the end of last year. So I decided this year I'm focusing more on just new to me parks. And I just passed 7,000, which was kind of a surprise to me because I wasn't even looking at my stats or anything. I didn't even know I was close to it. but I just passed 7,000 unique parks hunted. And I'm focusing more on just new to me parks, getting my CW better, CW activations, and DX parks. That's my focus this year. Yeah, if I see somebody in Discord spot, I mean, I'll go work them if I'm around the radio. But most of my hunting is done out of Discord now. I don't open the spot page very often. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely not burned out on ham radio. That's for sure, because I'm still averaging about 3 POTA parks a day, and then on top of that, like the past week and a half, I've been doing Lewis and Clark, and I've been doing 4 and 5 sessions a day of 30 minutes to an hour a day of calling CQ for Lewis and Clark. A lot of that in the park, some of it at the house, but and then when I am home and I'm not editing YouTube videos, I'm doing stuff like I just programmed some stuff in my 2-meter this week. I just did some upgrades to my 891. Been working on my mobile setup. It's definitely it's more of the year that I need. It's like a catch up year for me.
Yeah,
to catch up on a lot of projects that I need to get done.
Yeah.
I
don't think anybody's gonna activate 1810. That's a hard part to get to.
1810 is a really hard part to get. It's like one of those super rare parks.
99 more for an eagle. That's
how many bands and modes can you do?
Let me tell you, man. If you have US 1810 in your logs, that's just as good as having Bouvet Island.
I can tell you this. There is an activation coming up at 1810 that is going to be unlike any activation that's ever been done in 1810, because there's something new in 1810. So, do more digital. You mean for the Lewis and Clark? I can do that. I can do more digital for the Lewis and Clark.
Well, digital. I mean, that's a broad subject. Maybe we should explore some SSTV again this summer.
Hey, I'm down for that. I would have to hook it up on the DX10.
Yeah,
that's the funny part. That he says do more digital. That tells you something. So I've had the DX10 for over a year now. It's never been hooked up on digital ever. When I went to do Lewis and Clark FT8, I had to use my 991 because it was already hooked up. So, yeah, SSTV is a lot of fun. I do want to do some JS8 call or something. That's a little more interesting to me. At least it's an actual message instead of a CW pile up.
Yeah.
Because that's what FT8 is. It's 17 people calling at the exact same time, 0 beating me.
Yeah, I've never done SSTV, so that'd be a new one for me. JS8 call, I've never done that, so I'd like to do that too. I'm trying to expand my horizons this year.
If you ain't never got a sack picture from Eddie and Robbie down in Georgia, you're missing out on SSTV.
I try to act like I don't know them boys. But yeah, that'll be fun. Some JS8 call, maybe some PSK, or just something out of the ordinary.
Well, I might as well do some JS8 call now that since I've done Lewis and Clark, and I've done my numbers this year by sticking some digital ones in there. I did so good too.
Mom has a good challenge. Get a kilo in an obscure digital mode.
A kilo in obscure digital mode.
Yeah, so like use so get a kilo on like JS8 call or Hellscriber or something.
I'll get a kilo in JS8 call if I can learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Kind of fun. I'll try it. Can you make a custom challenge coin? If you get 1,000 contacts with you in JS8 call, you get a custom coin or something.
I'm not, however, getting a kilo with SSTV because I'm going to tell you,
I used to do SSTV. You're 74 years old.
I used to do SSTV every night during the summer of my POTA activations. My last activation night, I took an extra hour after I was done and just did SSTV POTA. And in that hour, if I got 10 calls, and that's with a pile up.
Yeah.
If I got 10 calls done, I was doing something because it takes forever.
They need to make like a fox and a hound mode for SSTV where you can reply to more than one at the same time.
PSK 31, that's another one.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We should do that. We'll sked that.
I think I'm going to agree with Liz and say hit that like button.
Lick that like button. That's right.
Well, if you're going to lick it really hard to where it pushes in and then clicks the button.
That's right.
And then afterwards say, "Do you got any bubble gum?"
Oh my God. That's another topic for the second hour of Happy Hour After Dark chat.
Happy after.
Yeah, you got my tongue tied with the bubble gum.
That's funny. You got because you guys missed the original comment on the first intro that we did since we didn't go live, and it was about that. So,
what happens in the first intro stays in the first intro. You
can actually go to bed on time, Mike, because I'll be in the after chat tonight and won't be out there. So
that's right. See you, Bang Bang. Always good to have the Duke of. I can't talk tonight, kind of. Let's try this one more time. See you, Bang Bang. Always good to have the Duke of Alabama in the chat.
Absolutely. It's coming up time to where we get to be harassed by him.
That's
it's
right.
Getting closer and closer to that Huntsville time period.
I love it. He'll pop his head around the corner of the cabin and go bang bang.
He might even teach us how to read and write.
Doubtful. We're a hard group we're not very learned.
Larry wishes the like button was, hey, there's a super chat. Thank you very much.
The POTA Dodge is fixed. Look for the spot on Friday from Chris. Awesome, buddy.
It'd be nice if the POTA Nissan was fixed. I got a
I remember that. I remember where this comment comes from. I will never forget, George. And if James tells you he doesn't remember that, shame on him. George's going to teach you to count first rather than spell.
What's bad is he probably should teach me because that's what I meant to say. Maybe he'll teach us to count. Mm-hmm. I didn't even mean to say spell. So maybe you should teach me because I'm confusing words. Oh, it's funny that he puts. Thanks for the super chat, Chris. He's funny that he puts that the POTA Dodge is fixed. And I said that about the Nissan. I got a letter in the mail the other day. It's time to renew my tags. I just laughed.
That's funny.
I don't believe I'm going to be renewing the tags on a car that ain't ran in the past year.
That plate will be on there till the bolts are rust out.
No, I took the plate off there so somebody didn't try to steal it.
Probably a good idea. Yeah.
It's actually a new color now. It was white before, but now it's got like a greenish tint from all the pollen.
And that algae flavor.
Yeah.
The POTA F250 Eddie has is getting expensive to ride around these hills. That's true. See you, Gene. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. And 3XUS.
Thank you very much for Texas. I got a lot of Texas calls on Lewis and Clark.
But yeah, the topic of the night is how do you radio and make time for it in your life? So about 10 minutes left. If nobody's shot their ideas in the chat, we'd like to know. Your busy schedule with work-life balance, family, friends. How do you make time for radio?
So here's a great idea. So Sunday is Father's Day.
It is.
How about taking your dad out to a park and introducing him into ham radio? I'm
That would
pretty
be smart.
sure that your dad would go to the park with you and check out what you do. That that would be a great thing to do. I could guarantee you that if my dad was alive, he would be absolutely tickled to death, considering he already did ham radio.
My dad doesn't have any personal interest in it, but his dad, before he passed away, my grandfather on my father's side, it's an interesting story actually. He knew Morse code. I don't believe he was a ham radio operator, but he did know Morse code. Me and him, he lived in Toledo, Ohio, and me and my dad's dad, my grandfather, used to handwrite letters back and forth. This must have been when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. We used to handwrite letters back and forth in Morse code, which was really cool.
See that's cool because Dad used to do me that way. He would just write down a whole big paragraph of Morse code and he'd hand it to me, and I had to bring it back to him filled out.
Yep.
So cool stuff. Yeah, I could guarantee you that if my dad was still alive, since I've started POTA, I wouldn't have been able to slack off this year at all because he would be on the heels of me in numbers doing Parks on the Air because that would be all right up his alley. I know when I did geocaching, he got into it and like it was an everyday thing. He messaged me, "Where are we going today? Where are we going? Where are we going geocaching?"
He'd be like, "Come on, son! I know you can sing code faster than that. Let's go."
So it definitely it'd be what park are we going to today? But yeah, I guarantee you, take your dad out, get you lunch, take him out to lunch. I'm not saying to make the whole day radio, but take him out and then say, "Hey, I want you to watch me do an activation and see what you think." And I bet your dad will do it, and I bet he'll enjoy it as well. Just seeing what their children is into and what they're doing and stuff like that. Because I'll be honest, you never know when this is your last Father's Day with them. So let them find out a little bit about your life as well. It's just an idea.
Yeah, I mean that. Always good to spend time with family, especially if your dads are still around. Spend time with them while you can, guys.
All right, so let me bring this up here. Find it. I think that one was for you, Dan.
Oh no! I got it over here. Frank, Frank KG6NLW. Go check out his YouTube channel. Friday nights, or Friday stream. He's having a CQ chit chat on Friday 8 Central. A group of people that don't get a lot of attention, but at the same time get all the attention. Sounds interesting. So go check out Frank's channel. KG6NLW. Ham Radio Wilderness on YouTube. It's going to be a roundtable Q&A type, live stream. It should be pretty interesting.
And I'll tell you what I have been slack at this week is my shorts. I haven't did my shorts this week, and I feel bad about it.
I only did one about the spike. I need to get out and make some more videos. Maybe this, I don't know. It'll have to be next weekend. I'll be able to get out and get some videos done.
I did film tomorrow's video today and Friday's episode number 3 of POTA from beginner to expert.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching that series? I get it right now. It's probably boring to all you guys because it's really aimed at the very beginning stages right now. But those those expert tips will be coming. And don't forget, you can always email stuff you'd like to see on that show. It's every Friday. There is no set time for it right now. It just comes up Friday randomly. I'll probably eventually put it at a set time, but I ain't decided what it's going to be. So I don't premiere those. I just drop them.
Absolutely, Liz, we do. I need to get my butt back out there because my Morse code is getting rusty. I'm still practicing every day, believe it or not, but I'm also spending some time. I'm still here. Hold on. I'm also spending some time, believe it or not, and studying. So I did make it a personal goal of mine to get my extra by or in Huntsville. So
All right.
We'll see how that goes.
You know, in September, I'm going to be studying myself. And I'm already an extra.
Oh, you're going to get the super extra.
So, yeah. I'll be studying vigorously in September for a radio test.
The super duper extra, right?
Kyle, you need to practice some field day exchange on CW, Kyle.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. Like,
oh, the ultra class license. That's what you're going for. I remember that. I could tell you what I'm studying for. I have a book in one of these drawers right over here. You got a book in your drawers?
A book in my drawers.
Very nice.
How do you think I'm sitting so tall?
All right.
But back to the CW thing, I can do the PUD exchange in my sleep, backwards and forwards, blah 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 blah. But it's these different exchanges that just work my head, and field day will be one of those. And yeah, it is that time. Matter of fact, next Wednesday the stream will be all about field day, and I guess it is about that time to work my head because we have other operators that do CW in the club, but that come to field day, probably not. So I'll probably be that one guy. I can remember 2 winter field days ago when I was just learning CW, and the Pearsons like, hey, come over here and hunt us. We need West Virginia still. And it literally took me like 10 minutes of listening to them blasting because I like to have all their information down.
They were running like 35, I believe, at the time too. I remember this. Yeah, it was crazy.
I got it done.
That was the year of the wolf.
That was the year of the wolf.
The
winter field day of the wolf.
Understood.
Wasn't the freezing cold winter field day, but it was the year of the wolf. All right, guys, we are going to start wrapping it up, and we're going to head over to After Chat. If you want to join us in After Chat and you're not a Patreon, guess what? There is a free 7-day trial, and then you just go and message myself or Dan in Discord, and we'll get you into the After Chat. But fair warning, if you partake in the benefits, you'll probably just stay a Patreon forever because it's life altering, we'll just say.
And it's legal and addictive.
And if you ask half of them, I think there's a secret Patreon room that I'm not in, and I think the Patreons discuss the ownership of the king. So it's kind of like, you know, how the president runs the country.
They tried to,
but has the earpiece in the ear. I think the Patreons is the earpiece in the king's ear.
They're trying to turn the HRAC bot into the Manchurian candidate.
Listen, I've had to go in there and call down the HRAC bot several times because
they teach it weird stuff, man. I mean, it's just AI. I mean, it can learn. So
they try to teach it some weird things. But typically when I come in there and put my foot down, it straightens up real quick.
That's right.
Anyway, tomorrow, video drop. It might be a cool one. We'll just say that. And Friday, another video drop. Both days, POTA activation and Lewis and Clark. If you stick a Whiskey 8 Lima Oscar Golf in your ham alerts, you might get a Lewis and Clark station only, or you might just get a POTA contact too. Most of the time, it is a POTA contact. So, A-Track Bot does not love ICOM secretly. You guys tried that one night with it, and it didn't work for y'all. So, 73, Larry. But anyway, I'll catch everybody in the after chat. And thank you guys very much for watching and your super chat tonight. 73, everybody.
See you guys.